Yeah.
That
Bummer.
is weird. Bruises are weird.
Mm.
One more thing about this whole situation, I just thought it was interesting that Martinez is using a bat, and
Yes.
it makes you think of Negan. So I looked up the dates. This episode aired March 17th, 2013, and Walking Dead, the comic, issue 100, where Negan kills Glenn with his bat, came out July 11th, 2012, so almost a year earlier. And I think after that issue, we saw at least two and maybe more instances of baseball bats in the show, because one
Yep.
was here and another one was at Terminus when they're
Every
leaning over
time
the
we were
trough.
like,
Yeah, and I think that's them sort of indicating Negan is coming. I don't know, but
mhm.
it seems like it's a knowing kind of a thing,
It
'cause
has to be. It
yeah.
has to be. You're dealing with nerds. Nerds like
Yeah.
us. We're gonna notice this shit.
Exactly. I thought you meant the writers. I mean that too, yeah.
And they're like, oh, we didn't know that wasn't a thing. I'm like, it was a thing. Shut up. It
Yeah.
was.
Mhm. All right, I'm done. What else?
I might have covered all my main points. I think I might just have
Notes.
notes.
I have a couple more.
Go for it.
So Merle, he was really antsy. He wants to go try to kill the governor because they know where he's at, and this would be a good time. And as you said, Glenn's stopping him because he's afraid it might get someone killed. He tried to make a deal with Michonne where they go in together, and she shoguns the governor's ass, and he takes care of his men. And I thought Michonne maybe considered that for a second, but said no.
I sort of loved this, like, not quite flirtatious tone that the two of them
Yeah,
had in this. I
I
like, I
know.
do not think for a minute that either of them wants to bang the other, but it was
I think
something
Merle
really.
wants to bang Michonne, but
Yeah, I think Merle would bang Michonne, but she's so, I don't know, she has a lot of power in that scene. And when he's like, it must have been your electric personality, and she's just like, and I'm like,
that's
I
funny.
loved
Yeah.
it. Go
But
Michonne.
I was sort of thinking, did they just put this in there because they needed to fill a few minutes? But I think it's sort of leading up to Merle taking matters into his own hands in a couple episodes, because I think in 15 he
Yeah.
goes off to try to kill the governor. So they're sort of setting that up, I guess.
And I think that's at the 2 day deadline. They're saying like in 2 days, one of us will be here. I think Merle goes
Oh,
to kill the governor, and that's when he gets killed. So yeah, I think Merle
yeah.
is on his final countdown now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Mm,
good riddance, I guess.
yep. Bye, as they
Bye.
say.
The aftermath. So, right after making this deal with Rick that if he handed over Michonne, the governor would leave Rick and his people alone, he goes to Martinez and says, position gunmen around the feed store, and when they bring Michonne, kill everyone but her, which I kind of loved.
Mhm.
And then Milton's, what about the deal? And governor says, I have altered the deal. No, I'm just kidding. We can take care of all of them. It's the best way to avoid a slaughter. I paused it, and I'm like, he is talking about a slaughter. Then I hit play, and Milton's like, that is a slaughter.
I love that. I'm gonna try that at my bookshop job. I have altered the deal. When someone's like, but it says two for
Yeah.
one. I'm gonna be like, no,
No,
no.
it's 1 for 2.
It's 1 for 2.
And then the governor, when he said that is a slaughter, Milton, the governor sort of turned and sort of bared into him, and Milton is scared but holding his ground, and the governor's gaze. Like, he's like, you're a bad man. And I think this is where Milton finally realized, okay, I'm not on his side anymore.
Yeah, he and Andrea are in very similar positions at this point,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. And yeah, that's when she walked by, and the governor's like, oh, well, I set some terms with Rick, and he has 2 days to answer. And she's like, oh, what are the terms? And he just smiles. All right, fuck you.
Bye.
And at this point, he should know he's losing Andrea and Milton here. But I just feel like
He doesn't
after
care.
Penny died, he's just getting really reckless. He's
doesn't
trying to hold his shit together just enough so that he can get all these fuckers to do what he wants and go attack, but he's barely holding it together.
Honestly, yeah, I think he can't see the wood for the trees.
No, he doesn't care about anything anymore. And then back at the prison, Rick was in the main area telling everyone, because we're saying, okay, the governor just revealed what we suspected, that he has no intentions of keeping up with this deal. He wants to kill them all. And then you see Rick telling everyone just that. He wants us gone, dead. He wants us dead for what we did to Woodbury. We're going to war. And my thought was, good. He wasn't fooled. He knows what's up. He read the governor well. That's smart. He knows he only has 2 choices now, fight or run, and he wants to fight. But then he goes with Herschel and says, oh, maybe, we could give up Michonne, and the governor would keep his word. And It just reminded me of all the fretting that Rick did in season 2 about his decision making. But I was like, did he do that in front of everyone at that point? No, he mostly did it in front of Lori, but she's gone now. So Herschel has to take her place.
He reaches out to stroke Herschel's ponytail, like, and Herschel's like, "This is
I just don't know what to do, Herschel."
later tater."
Did I do the right thing?
Oh, it's bad. I think Rick does is, we're getting into the kind of, I mean, the morality of The Walking Dead has always been a big feature of it, but that question of is Michonne's life worth more than your daughter's?
Your daughter's.
And
yeah.
we're like, yes, of course, Rick, because she's the love of your life. Fuck off. But at this point, it is, yeah, what would you do to protect the people you love? And yeah. it's
I mean,
valid.
They should really just run away, like go somewhere else. Yeah. I know that sounds weak, but it's better than fighting and losing people, Yeah. At this point, there's billions of people are dead. There's plenty of go to another prison or something.
Literally, famously, the prison industrial complex has too many. So like there will be another one somewhere, right. But yeah.
But that would be no fun. No. So, I mean, I think Rick at this point anyway is very much considering giving Michonne up. Otherwise, why have this conversation? Why ask Herschel that question? He says, I'm hoping you'll talk me out of it. I can't remember the details of what happens, but I'm assuming he decides not to, given that they are now married, right? And I don't think Michonne would ever forgive him if he'd
imagine if that was like as I recall, he toys with it and she understands why, but he doesn't go through with it.
Okay. Maybe he goes and gives her the choice or something.
I think he maybe starts taking her there. I don't know.
Let's find out.
We're just going to go to the field, the farm for a while. And she's like,
Wow. Yeah. That, I mean, if he tries to trick her into it and then she forgives him, that'll surprise me.
I don't think he tried. I think she knows. I think it's one of those things where she's like, I know that this will be the term, like, because I'm not dumb. Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling it goes further than him just dismissing it. I think he.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting confused with Randall, though. I'm like, we spend a lot of time debating what to do with Randall.
We'll see. And then one other thing. First, Herschel told Rick that he and Carol think they should leave the prison, but he says, I'll stay and fight if that's what everyone wants, which is kind of rough to hear, knowing what happens to him. He's the one who has to pay for that decision to stay there,
Yep.
And I can picture it in my head right now, what happens.
Oh, it's so rough, man.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's very rough. All right. Notes.
Notes. Looking down my notes. That's my theme tune.
Note song.
Notes on. Oh, great! He brought his butler is a great line. And a friend of mine a couple of years back got me some pencils with quotes from The Walking Dead on them. And I recognized all of them apart from "You better watch your mouth, sunshine." And when Daryl said the line, I was like, "Oh, that's where it is." So I have a pencil that says "You better watch your mouth, sunshine."
It's a good one.
I thought it was cute that Maggie called Merle out for being a dick to Carl about his dad. He said, like, your dad's head could be on a pike, and Maggie's like, don't say that to him because he's just lost his mum. And I was like,
yeah,
nice.
It is a pretty fucked up thing to say to a kid.
Yeah, it's a fucked up thing to say to a kid. I wondered vaguely if Milton was the Ken Burns of the apocalypse, only instead of like Ken Burns' stuff, he just has a little notebook and a slightly unnerving air. Total lie when he says, I don't want your prison. The end music was Warm Shadow by Fink. It was the Dactyl remix of that song. There were lots of aerial shots in this episode, like shots from above, and a lot of the stuff where the governor and Rick are talking to one another around the table was quite cool. It reminded me of like a theater performance or a cut price improv show.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's like a play.
And I thought it was interesting what Rick has learned about leadership of he feels that people need to be scared in order to justify the things that he wants to do. He says they need to be scared if he does give up Michonne.
He's being like the governor-y there. Maybe it rubbed off on him. We know how we say Rick takes on the characteristics of his foes that he vanquished. Maybe it's a little early here, but he's trying to maneuver them into doing something by manipulating them, basically.
Absolutely. And I did love that in the closing shot, we got a really good look at the Hyundai. I was like, oh yeah, there it is. So it's having a good season. But yeah, those were my notes. I have some IMDb stuff, but I'll wait till you've done your notes.
They should have had at some point someone dream that the Hyundai turned into a zombie car.
The Hyundai web series.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of notes. I just had the thought that it's weird to think that both these guys, Andrew Lincoln and David Morrissey, are English guys.
I was obsessed with this. I was like, but you see when the camera's off, are they just like, all right.
Oh, all right, that's good. Good
right,
show.
Man. Oh, that's great. Good news. Like me. Would you like a cup of tea?
I loved how me and Danielle and Renee did our favorite Rick Grimes moments for
that one.
Yeah, you should listen to that. I think you'll dig it. And it's for the Patreon. And Renee was just going on about how much she loves Rick Grimes, oh, he's my boo and everything. And then we started talking about Andrew Lincoln, and she's like, yeah, Andrew Lincoln, not so much. It's Rick Grimes that I like.
I love that.
So funny.
How cool is it though that he embodies a character?
Yeah.
So, it is about the character. Like there are definitely actors and stuff where I'm like, ugh, and then like they're in a role and you're like, oh, they play that role really well. Like, yeah.
Or reverse, probably even more. So when they play despicable people, but they're nice in real life. What else? I mean, I already mentioned it, but it's just, we should mention it one more time. It's impossible not to think about bad lip reading watching this. And I watched it again. La bibbidi bibby dum, la bibbidi bibby doo. And I will put a link in the show notes. And if you have somehow missed seeing this up until now, please go and watch it. Only if you want to feel happy, go and watch it.
You are welcome.
Yes.
World. So good. In terms of IMDb, there's actually an interesting one in this one. The episode was originally titled Pale Horse. TV critic Kevin Skinner said, speaking of the episode name, that he didn't get it, so arrow on the doorpost, and he wishes showrunner Glenn Mazzara had stuck with Pale Horse and had kept an original scene with Daryl finding a headless rider on a living horse, which tied into the episode title.
Well, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I'm like,
would
what?
There be
yeah, I was like, but if the horse is alive, why is it pale?
Yeah, I mean, there's that On a Pale Horse. Well, I know that's a book that Pierce Anthony wrote about the character of Death, I think. So maybe it's from a quote about death. I don't know. Have to look into that.
Two other facts. The governor's surname is revealed as Blake, which comic book readers would know already. And the other, which I think is interesting, is Daryl has a new crossbow in this episode, which must, I presume, have come from Clear.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Is that the same one that Carol brings to France?
Je ne pas.
I wonder.
I don't know. Don't know what she declared at customs. So, wait. Bien sûr.
Okay. Only on. Oh, go ahead.
I forgot to say, I should have said at the top of the episode, I survived the Channel Tunnel. Who knew?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did text you. I was like, I'm in the channel.
Did you hallucinate?
It was fine. I'd rather not talk about it. All I can say is Cadron and I are really happy now, and he's settling into the UK really well.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's great.
Hope you can calm him down.
Yeah.
Only on The Walking Dead would someone asking to see someone's leg stump be the lighthearted moment of the episode.
Only on The Walking Dead would you reject the brand new Hyundai to go back to your crappy boyfriend's crappy town to sleep in your own bed. Brad Holt says la bibida bibidi, la bibida bibidum, and good. Cluck went the chicken.
Bravo. Well done.
Oh, Brad, amazing. That's how they do it on Broadway.
It really is. Stephen Fletcher says, I'll be intrigued to see if any of us can rewatch the scenes between Rick and the governor without thinking of the governor being a jerk or bad lip reading edits. Well, we couldn't do it without thinking of bad lip reading edits, but now we immediately will go to YouTube and
look up the governor
search
being
out
a
the
jerk.
governor being a
Okay.
jerk, right?
Yeah.
Because there's also, if you want to laugh, watch Darth Vader being a jerk. It's hilarious.
I've never seen Karen laugh as much as when you showed her that in Scotland. I thought she was gonna die. I was like,
So good.
It was so good. Danielle Dement Jost says, I love this episode. Rick is in fine form, and I really like the interactions among the rest waiting outside the meeting. Herschel and Milton are awesome together. And this is how we do it on Broadway.
Rodney Milton says, been listening to the rewatch and being from the UK, I dipped into British comedy Daddy Issues. It stars David Morrissey as a very different type of character.
Oh, it's
Hope
so
my
good.
brain can cope with adjusting back to seeing him as the governor again. Is it good? I don't know anything
It's genuinely
about it.
really funny. He plays, his character is just, he's got his kind of northern, like his natural accent, but he's like a loser dad in his like 60s trying to look after his daughter who's in her 20s and gonna have a baby. And he's so funny in it. And Peter and I watched it. There's one episode in particular where he has to have an awkward dinner with his brother-in-law who he's scared of. And it's cracking. But it does make me laugh that that's the governor. David Morrissey's such a good actor. Like, he's genuinely brilliant.
Did you ever get around to watching the Lenny James show?
Not yet. I need to because I picked up a copy in the bookshop the other day of Mr. Loverman, and I was like, I need to get on watching this. And I sent you a horror film or thriller with David Morrissey and Clemence Posey in it that we should maybe cover off season. It's meant to be quite good.
Cool.
Becky Anderson says, I really like this episode, mostly the last bit. Rick was great during the conversation with the governor. He got a couple of great one-liners in. Ugh, Andrea, annoying as ever. My favorite part was the conversation Rick and Herschel had about Michonne. Dang right she's earned her place. We're going to war. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes. Becky's picked her side.
I'm still on the fence. I'm deciding. Jennifer McGinley says, excellent episode. Quality Walking Dead. Daryl and Martinez pissing contest. Hilarious. And the one-liners, at least buy me a drink first. You're the town drunk who knocked over my fence and I ripped up my yard. And my favorite one-liner in the whole series, I brought whiskey. I don't know why the latter makes me LOL so much. Just a stupid look on the governor's face, the way he delivers the line, like he's expecting Rick to jump up and go, yay, party time. Well done to every single person involved in this episode. Walking Dead classic. Well, that seems like his favorite of hers. That's cool.
I love it. He goes, I brought whiskey. And everyone's like, no one gives a shit, mate. Like,
that's why I decided, even though it's only 1 p.m. here, I would go ahead and have
I should have thought and had
myself.
one. I'd water. Wasn't as exciting. Randy Stevenson says, this episode made me love the song that plays at the end, Warm Shadow by Fink. I think y'all may have pointed out how the music in early Walking Dead is mostly acoustic or uses very little electric effects to reflect the almost electricity-free world the characters are living in. I think the combo of that trivia and the 10 story seared the song into my head. Anytime I hear it, I picture Rick sitting across from the governor in his return home to tell his people we're going to war. It's really evocative. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. But this message made me go back and look. There's this great resource called tunefind.com.
Love TuneFind.
Yeah, and you can find, I don't know if it's every single TV show, but it seems like it.
It's a fair few.
Yeah, and you go to any episode and it'll tell you what songs are in that episode, and then there's even links to like Spotify and Apple Music. And so that made me, I went back and looked at like season 1 of Walking Dead. There's Split Foot and Space Junk in the pilot. There's I'm a Man by Black Strobe in episode 2. Tomorrow is a Long Time by Bob Dylan in episode 5. Some Johnny Cash in there. So I think we led you wrong, Randy, because I mean, I don't know if that's even what you're saying, but there was a lot of pop music all throughout Walking Dead, I guess. But this one did stand out to me somehow as being more like what they ended up doing later, because I think they did, I don't know how, but they started using it. Maybe they just had it more over the end credits early on, and now they put it in the episode more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it did start to feel more like, especially when Gimple came along, he'd find these great songs and put them in there, and I'd put them in my playlist. You know, I think he'd make songs popular.
Like Easy Street.
I actually like Easy Street more than most people. But there's a song called Denise. No, wait, no, scratch that. Never mind. He didn't put that in. There's this song that when Eugene went over to the Savior's side as a trader for a while there, and they had this song, there's this one thing, it's called there's this one word, it's called comfort, do 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 do, and it's by a band called Paul Simon, or no, the song is called Paul Simon for some reason, but anyway, I have that in my playlist. There's just a few like that I keep listening to afterwards.
I remember there's a really good montage of Dwight eating a sandwich. Was it A Town Called Malice or something that they played when he was eating his sandwich?
And there's one where he's singing a song to Stephanie.
Have you heard what they said on the news today?
Yeah. I love that. I don't know why that gets me so much, because I didn't like Eugene so much at first. He was just so stilted and stood out, but there's some moments with later Eugene that really got to me. I can't wait till we get back there.
It's so good. It's so good. It's going to bother me what the hell that song is that plays when Dwight makes a sandwich. But I'll find it. I'll find it.
I remember that sequence, the whole sandwich thing, the benefits of being a savior.
Yeah, and it really made me want a sandwich. I was like, oh, I want to eat that.
I have a really good sandwich waiting for me in the fridge right now.
Oh, what is it? Tell me about it.
It's a chicken salad sandwich. I got it at this deli, and it's got just this really good fluffy wheat bread. It looks so good.
I feel like North America spoiled me for sandwiches. Yeah, it is A Town Called Malice. I was right. There you go. It was the jam. Sidebar.
All right. Ketcha Rawlings says, this is such an interesting episode because of the governor's proposed trade turnover Michonne, and I won't attack the prison. In the prior episode, Clear, according to showrunner Gimple, we see Rick, Michonne, and Carl written as a family. In Clear, we see Rick's growing physical attraction to Michonne and the beginning of Carl's bond to Michonne. The governor is unaware of Michonne's growing importance to Rick and the prison group. Of course, we know Rick ultimately decides not to turn Michonne over to the governor. However, is it possible that Rick considered turning Michonne over, not just to keep his group safe, but also because he didn't want to deal with his growing feelings for her and guilt over having these feelings so quickly after Laurie's death? Maybe. I mean, my sense at this point is Rick is feeling connected to Michonne and realizing that she's a good person and that she's destined to be one of them, if not one of them already. But I also have said, I feel like there's heat between them, but I just don't know if he's like full on having feelings for her yet. I don't know if I would say that, but
I don't know if Rick even knows like 10 years. Sometimes I'm like,
yeah. I mean, no, a lot of us don't. We don't realize exactly. Well,
the person was there the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right under your nose. Maybe.
Shanna says the use of light in this episode tells its own story. At times, Rick is backlit. At other times, he stands in the shadows and the governor is in the light. This causes us to question who is the hero and who the villain is in this story. Of note, as Rick and the governor drink whiskey, Rick's right eye and right side of his face is consistently hidden by shadow, and of course the governor's eye is behind his eye patch for most of the episode. Just a few episodes back, Merle and Herschel discussed Matthew 5:29-30. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, which can be interpreted as referring to the temptation of sin. Great writing and storytelling.
Nice.
Also, Andrea told me about your baby. As the young people would say, the governor ate with that comment. Knife straight to the heart. Cheers to the rewatch. Fun to go back and see Daryl in the early days after just wrapping up Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. P.S. How I cheer myself up? Walking Dead rewatch.
Oh.
I just realized when you're talking about the table, another thing that some viewers were wondering about this episode was whether or not Rick would lose a hand. Because that's what the governor does to Rick in the comics. So I remember going into this episode, a lot of people were like, oh.
Yeah. Also, I want to go back to Kesha's message for a second where she proposes that maybe Rick has growing physical attraction to Michonne, and that's part of the reason why. I realize the way I handle that might have sounded like, oh, no. But I hope it came across that that's just what I think, that he isn't quite there yet. But I don't know. You could be totally right. So I don't want to be like, come off like a dismissive jerk.
There is a famous meme, and I can't remember if it's this episode or not, that people have been reevaluating where it looks like Rick is checking out Michonne's ass.
Yeah.
And I think it might be from Clear. So
yeah, I mean, I do, especially knowing what happens. I definitely feel heat between them, but my interpretation is just that the writers saw how much on-screen chemistry they had, so then started writing them as that later on.
And Andrew Lincoln's mom wanted them to be together.
Is that right?
Yeah, apparently she keeps. I remember in an interview, he's like, "My mom keeps asking me," and I'm like, "Oh,
that's funny.
That's cute."
Cool. All right, we got a couple calls. Here's Steve Brown.
Yay!
Hello, the cast of us. This is Steve, and this is going to be for, what is it, Arrow on the Doorpost? Man, it's been so long, I almost forgot where we were at. They just finished a run, right? Oh, yeah, we just had Clear, so we're coming back from a run. Maybe some time has passed, because Herschel's driving. Oh, I forgot this episode, that's right. Rick is meeting with the governor. Of course, Rick doesn't take off his gun, but of course, the governor keeps his hands below the table, which you're not supposed to do, and there's a gun. Oh, Merle, talking about heads on pikes. But yeah, don't talk to Carl like that. Come on. I thought you were a cop, not a lawyer. Great line from the governor there to Rick as they're talking. This conversation, wow. Oh, so Andrea told the governor that Judith may not be Rick's. That's interesting. Oh, Daryl. One arrow goes through one walker into the neck of another one, and you throw the knife at the other one's head. Ew. Milton wants to see Herschel's leg. I just met you. Buy me a drink first. Oh, and Beth is the one who stops the fight between Glenn and Merle. I don't know who's going to win that fight, but Glenn, ooh.
I forgot Beth shot, and I'm like, I don't know if it's a great idea to shoot a gun in an enclosed place like that.
With a newborn.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't know, man. What does the governor know about what they brought back from Clear? Oh, no, Rick. He doesn't want the prison. He wants Michonne. Man, I forgot how good Lauren Cohan and Stephen Yeun were together. Gosh, Maggie and Glenn. Oh. Glenn, I can't do this. And they show all those walkers on the fences. Oh, but now they're sneaking into the whatever this is, the back of a truck. And now the governor gives him 2 days, and now we're all back home, and the governor's going to plan to ambush the prison. Oh no, he's gonna ambush them in 2 days when they meet together, and he's gonna get Michonne for himself. Of course, Andrea has no idea what the governor's gonna do. Kill them all. Oh, and Rick's gonna lie to the rest of them about what the governor wants, though. Unless of course he's just reading between the lines and he knows what the governor really plans to do. And I know how it ends up, but I don't know how they get there at the end. So I'm excited for the rest of this rewatch. Glad we're back. Thank you so much for doing this rewatch. I'm having so much fun with it.
Yay. Yeah, I'm like you. I don't remember the details, so that keeps it fun.
Oh, I'm really glad.
And we got one more call from Renee.
Way.
Hi guys, this is Renee calling in. I am so happy that we're back together again. I'm so happy that we started the rewatch. I did not call in about the Daryl show because I didn't want to be a negative Nancy.
I was wondering.
I was not feeling the Daryl show. It was not my cup of tea. I don't like those folks in France. I don't care about any of those folks in France. In Paris, I can care less about them. I want Daryl and Carol to be back with Rick and Michonne and the rest of the gang, and I will be happy with that. Okay, so let me start with this episode here. My boo was looking mighty fine in those jeans. I love his swag so much. His swag is top tier. And his head tilt and the gruffiness to his voice, it makes me feel all tingly inside. He is the epitome of a Southern man to me. Okay? Rick Grimes. This is the episode that Rick. I fell in love with Rick Grimes. He is so sexy. Like, when I say sexy, capital S, capital E, capital X, capital Y. Okay, enough about Rick. Okay, Herschel. I love Herschel. He's super cute. And Herschel got some gangster in him as well. Herschel had that gun taped to his leg. I was like, okay, Herschel, I see you. and Daryl. Daryl's looking cleaner than usual. I wish they would have kept his hair shorter because his longer hair always looks so unkempt. Daryl looked so dirty and dusty to me. I don't like that. Daryl looked much better in the earlier episodes. I don't like the new Daryl. Okay, and the governor, he is so slimy, telling Rick to put down his gun, knowing the whole time that he had his gun taped to the table. But of course, Rick Grimes is not crazy. He is not the one to be played with. He's not the 1, 2, 3, nor the 4. And Andrea, girl, sit your ass down somewhere. She gets on my nerves. And that hip hop, girl, what was the point of her telling the governor that Judith is Shane's baby? She talked too damn much. Like, I don't understand. She just went over there and told the governor everything. They just had pillow talk. Like, girl, and then when Herschel told her that, you can come back home, your family, she still chose to get in the car with the governor. I do not understand that. I do not. But women like her irks my soul. When Michonne said that she chose a warm bed and a man over her friends, that is the truth. And I cannot wait until she dies. And Merle is an asshole. He is so crass. I cannot wait till he die as well.
Fair.
And Glenn and Maggie. That was so cute. I'm so glad that he finally apologized to her. And I did not realize that Glenn and Maggie, the sex scene between them was like super hot, super hot. It was sizzling. And when Rick and Michonne had sex like that on The Ones Who Live, it was a big hoopla. And I don't understand that because the chemistry that Glenn and Maggie has, Rick and Michonne has that as well. Mm-hmm. And Glenn and Maggie is an interracial couple. So I don't see the problem with Rick and Michonne because people are always saying that Rick, they like Rick, they feel like that Rick and Andrea would have made a better couple than him and Michonne. The hell, come on now. No. Andrea is clueless. And then Unnecessary. Like, girl, Unnecessary was on there for maybe a couple of episodes, and people say that they feel like Rick would have made a better that Rick and Unnecessary would have made a better couple than him and Michonne. No way in the hell. I think that people have a problem with Rick and Michonne because that Michonne she's black and she's so dark, and she has her features. She's African. And she has, her features are very prominent. And, of course, on The Walking Dead, she's not as put together as she is in real life. So they can't get past that. But Denai is a beautiful woman. She's gorgeous. And even on The Walking Dead, when they show her when she's looking softer, because sometimes she does she's mugging and, she does have a look where she kind of look ill. But, when they show her, her softer side, she's a beautiful woman. You can tell that she's a really pretty woman. And to me, her and Rick go together like an Oreo, the best cookie in the world. I always say that they look like an Oreo to me. And I think that they're super, super cute. And it's like the governor telling Rick, I need for you to give Michonne up. One woman, is she worth it? All those lives at your prison? Sir, that's his future wife. That's his baby mama. Yes, she is. She's definitely that. So, yeah. So, let me just stop talking because that's what I always seem to do, go off on a tangent. And I'm just so happy that we're back together again. So, of course, I'm going to talk. Jason's probably going to edit this out. But I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I miss you guys so much. And The Walking Dead is my comfort show. And I'm just so happy. I'm so ecstatic. I'm telling you guys. All right. Talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Peace and love. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
It is really good to be back.
Yeah, good to hear from you.
Oh, Renee.
Yeah. I'm glad it's good to hear from you. And I was wondering why. I figured she must just not be digging the Daryl show.
Yeah. We still not heard from Gemma in ages.
Yeah. What are you doing, Gemma? We need to hear from you.
Yeah.
Call in if you're listening.
Gemma, are you alive out there?
She loves Rick too. All right. So we had some messages that weren't related to this episode. So I thought we'd read those. First one's from Laura Linton, who says, I really appreciate your last podcast titled How We Cheer Ourselves Up. I've definitely been in a post-election depression, just trying to figure out the state of our world. Luckily, I have your podcasts. Love hearing your suggestions, and I'm currently watching Doghouse, which is the show that Karen suggested people watch.
Amazing.
Crying happy tears today. Thank you all for your humor, kind hearts, and amazing podcast. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that, Laura. It was great to podcast with Karen and Wendy.
I'm so excited to catch up on that one.
Yeah, I dig it.
Andrea Abarcus says, "Hi, Jason and Lucy. I know you were watching a movie this week. We did not."
Well, she's
you
talking
did.
about
No, you spoke about what we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, Andrea. Andrea says, "I will try to watch it tonight if I can. I'm just writing in to thank you for what you said in regards to the election. I'm not going to go on a rant or anything. I just wanted to say as a woman and also as someone who has a sister who is gay, it was so heartbreaking. But your words and knowing there are good people like you lets me continue to have hope. Love you guys and looking forward to starting the rewatch."
Thanks,
Oh,
Andrea.
Andrea, lots of love back to you.
Yep. Linda Elist says, "Hi again, Jason and Lucy. Lovely to hear my long message read in the latest podcast. Makes this little newbie feel welcome to the fold." Linda's the one who just got into The Walking Dead fairly recently.
Amazing.
And hadn't
Yes,
been
I
spoiled on anything.
remember.
So just a quick one regarding your response. Yes, I hope to feel differently about season 9 onwards when I get into a rewatch. She didn't like the later seasons. The tonal shift won't be such a shock, and I'm hoping I'll be able to enjoy it for what it is rather than what I expect it to be. With many of you truly loving a lot of what was created in those final years, I'm curious to see if I can feel the same way. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll see. I hope so, but we'll see. I'll share my thoughts when I get there. In the meantime, I look forward to engaging more with current content. Speak soon. Linda. Why do I always get the ones where people leave their zombie sound? Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, and because I forgot last time. Thanks, Linda.
Amazing, Linda. Eileen Cross. You have
Eileen is Jenny's friend who does cross stitching. Like Jenny goes to a cross stitching retreat once a year, and
yes.
She met this woman who said, "Hey, I listened," or it came out that, oh, what does your husband do? Oh, he's a podcaster. Oh, what is he podcast on? The Walking Dead. Oh, I listen to a Walking Dead podcast.
Is he the good one or the bad one?
It's Chris. No,
it's Chris Fairhurst. Eileen Cross says, "Hello, Jason and Lucy. You have given me one of my life's dreams. You told me not to get bit on your last podcast. I screamed and almost jumped out of bed, and my husband thought I was having a stroke. We both calmed down and want to thank you so much." Oh, Eileen, that's quite a visual. I know that Jenny was instrumental in getting this to happen. I adore all things zombies. It started when I was in college in 1971 when I saw Night of the Living Dead during a Halloween movie fest. I was traumatized for days, actually months. I love sci-fi, cli-fi, and apocalyptic fiction, probably now to become non-fiction and to be classified as the historical documents of our time. Hang in there. I understand your concern for your children's future, given that environmental concerns will not be addressed for the next 4 years and probably for many more years to come. I admire you both. I listen to your podcast before I see the episodes. At my age, I need to try to keep my anxiety down to manageable levels, so knowing who dies and how they die helps me enjoy the episodes. I do that too. Don't get bit, Jason and Lucy. P.S. At 72 years old, I would probably be the first to die after an apocalypse, but nevertheless, I will try to not get bit. Yay!
Yeah, Karen does that too. She reads spoilers so she can not have to worry about who's going to die.
I don't do it all the time. I tried not to, and I definitely didn't for The Ones Who Live and Daryl Dixon, but other times I do it, especially
when you're
around
not podcasting on it.
Yeah, when I'm not podcasting, I will. It kills me.
Good to hear from you, Eileen. Thanks for writing in. Vicky in Wiltshire says, "Hi, Lucy and Jason. I just wanted to share a couple thoughts following the finale of Daryl Dixon season 2. I know I missed the feedback show, but we get the latest episodes in the UK about a week after everyone else, and I thought I'd send this anyway. When Daryl told Caudron he didn't kill his brother, it definitely seemed to me that Caudron was thinking, Mon Dieu, I let the woman who was responsible get away while I went on a murderous rampage. I didn't need to kill all those people or hunt Daryl all this time. I was wrong. How crazy was all that stuff I did?" And hopefully he was regretting his actions. I just forgot the details, so I just couldn't remember what Caudron did because he thought Daryl was the one who killed his brother. So did he kill some people because of that? Okay, maybe that's what it was.
I think in
Yeah,
Pursuit of
I don't remember.
Daryl, he definitely did. Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Thanks, Vicky. She goes on, I'm glad to hear there will be some scenes set in England next season, as I'm in the southwest of England, even if it's not really filmed here. Stephen Merchant joining the cast has made a lot more sense to me since hearing this. I know, me too. If you've never seen it before, I'd highly recommend Stephen Merchant's BBC series, The Outlaws. It's brilliant and so funny. Never heard of it.
I haven't either. I should check that out.
Yeah, I love him. I'd like to finish by saying thank you for your podcast. I'm a long time listener of Chris and Jason on the Talking Dead podcast and started listening to your show when they mentioned the rewatch of The Walking Dead. I've gotten so much. That's cool. If you listen to it, you must have heard us before because we did yearly crossovers with them after every season. I wonder if you heard those, Vicky.
Oh, maybe.
She says, I've gotten so much out of rewatching The Walking Dead with you both, although I have to say I normally find myself agreeing with Jason. No, I'm just kidding. She said Lucy.
I knew I liked Vicky. I knew I could just tell. I was like, Vicky, you seem like a really good egg, and I know
we agree most of the time. You and I agree.
We agree most of the time.
Looking forward to carrying on with the rewatch.
Yay, Vicky.
Nice. All right, that is our show, episode 613. Thanks for listening, everybody. It's good to be back. Maybe we'll feel more, well, we won't feel more settled in next week because I'm going on a Disney cruise, leaving tonight.
You're leaving tonight?
Yeah, we're flying out. If there's rough weather here, so we're hoping the flight doesn't get delayed. Where do you
cruise from? Is it Florida?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never been on a Disney cruise before, but we figured we better do it while our kids are young, so we're all excited.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. But so the next episode is going to be The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 14, Prey, with Lucy and special guest Peter.
Yay! We will not be on a Disney cruise. We will be in our house. If you want to write in or leave us a voice message about it, you can find all our contact information at podcastica.com.
And while you're there, please check out our other podcasts. Like, did I mention this already? Me and Rima and Richard started on the second 5 episodes of Cobra Kai. They split the last season.
Oh, did they split it?
In 3 parts. And so the second 5 came out. And we're loving it. And man, it's the last season. Yeah, they're all in Spain right now, actually.
Are you kidding?
Weird. Yeah.
Everyone's filming in fucking Spain.
Big
oh my God.
competition there.
That's really funny.
So that's Cobra Kai Cast, which you can find at podcastica.com. This episode's made possible by Patreon supporters like Gloria Hernan, who pledged their support at patreon.com/Jason Kabassi. So thank you to Gloria with your fabulous New England accent.
We love Gloria.
Yeah.
We love her.
What's something we're doing? We just did a Zedhead. I just did a Zedhead show, our Patreon exclusive podcast with Becky Anderson and Penny on our favorite 90s shows of all time.
I watched a documentary at the weekend about 90s UK boy bands, and I'm in a very 90s nostalgic mood now, so I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, you got some catching up to do.
I do. I really do. You know what, this working full-time malarkey, I don't recommend it.
How's the bookshop?
It's good. It's tiring. Like, I do 10 kilometers a day just walking around with piles of books, but I get to recommend books to a lot of people and use my staff discount, which is nice. But no, it's genuinely really nice. It's nice to talk to people. But yeah, physically, I'm like, fucking hell. So
yeah, when you're not